So I guess it is 1 kilometer that we have walked so far. The path is pretty steep. It is going to be difficult. That is what it seems. I just recently did Vaishno Devi trek, which is 11 kilometer, and compared to that, this definitely seems to be tougher. But the view behind me, the greenery, the lush greenery is beautiful. You can breathe that fresh oxygen inside you. He was asking, "कौन सा scene हो रही है?" He thought I'm doing some kind of a film shooting or something. Good, he doesn't know that I'm totally amateur in terms of handling cameras, as you can see. But now let me take a moment of explaining what is Mahadev or the Holinath or Shankar deities. So Indian viewers might be knowing it already, but maybe for their benefit and maybe for some Westerners. So, like in Christianity, where there is a concept of Trinity, Hinduism is totally opposite. So it's very different from the Abrahamic religions. But there is those supreme three gods that prevail over others. You can draw very parallels with the Greek mythology, where mighty Zeus, Poseidon, the god of sea, and Hades, the god of the underworld, they three shared the entire universe. So very similar way. In Hinduism, there is Brahma, who essentially is the creator of the universe, and there is a Vishnu, who he nurtures the universe, takes care of it. Time and time, he personifies himself in terms of avatars. Avatar is now a recognized Oxford Dictionary word. So he comes in the shape as a personification of warriors, as well as divine personalities such as Ram, Krishna. But the third deity, and again the very powerful, in fact if you believe some of the belief system, the most powerful is Shankar. So how is this god, Shankar? Whoa, I need to watch my steps. How is this god Shankar? He is a Karpura Gauram. Karpur is camphor in Sanskrit. Gaura is fair. So he's a fair like a camphor. There was a great churning of ocean where all the gods, the sub-gods, and the asuras, or the not the devil is not a word, I'm not sure how to pronounce, but the opposite of the gods, so monsters maybe. So they did a big churning of the ocean. To churn the ocean, you need something which you can put in the ocean and roll it. So they use Mount Meru, which as per Hindu mythology, the tallest mountain on earth. Actually, scientifically we know it's Mount Everest, 29,000 feet, but beliefs are beliefs. So they use Mount Meru. They needed a rope, so they used Vasuki, which is the supreme god of snakes. Vishnu, the paramount god of cultivation and taking care of universe, he happened to lift that Mount Meru on his back, and the great churning began. As a result of those churning, 14 Ratna literally in English means jewels. 14 jewels came out. Now the deal was, good or bad, you have to accept everything. So there was Kamdhenu, a holy cow. Kamdhenu is a holy cow which fulfills all your wishes. There was Kalpavriksha, which was again a very sacred tree which gives you everything. Some say it is coconut tree. And amongst all these jewels or the availabilities, there came the wish halal, or literally the poison. Now neither the asuras nor the gods, they were ready to take this poison, and there was actually a war broke out between them. The world was at the brink of war, and this is much before the Second and the First World Wars, which happened in Europe, much before that. So Bhagwan Shankara, he happened to intervene, and he is the one who accepted that wish. He drank that wish. Only he had the appetite, or the iron belly, as we call it in today's term, to digest that poison. And miraculously, he consumed it, and the churning resumed. Only as a side effect, or the result of it, his throat got blue. So he was Karpura Gauram already, he was a fair one. He got a blue throat. So what he did, the throat was burning, it was aching. Obviously it was poison. So he, being a hermit, he put a snake. He rolled a snake, live snake, around his neck. That's how any picture that you see a snake in his neck. He's a hermit, unlike other gods like Vishnu, the Indra, God, which is a god of heavens, the thunder. In Greek parallels, it is like Zeus. They all live very lavishly. They drink the somras, Greek equivalent of ambrosia. They have beautiful celestial females at their service. Tilottama, Mandakini, Urvashi. I'm sorry for you might be getting irritated because of the constant movements. First, I'm not good at it. Secondly, I need to watch out for the horses coming in. So, they all live in very lavish lifestyle. Unlike Bhagwan Shankar, who is a hermit. So, his abode is at Mount Kailash, presently at China, one of the very tall mountains in Himalayas. He doesn't hold any money. You will never see him wearing any jewelry, any exquisite crowns, nothing. He will be having jata or the tangled hair which are tied by Rudraksha. He will be putting the ashes, bhasma, around his body, bhasma lep. He doesn't sit on the throne, any golden throne. There is Vyaghra Charma or the skin of a lion that suffices his purpose. A very, very humble personality of this god. Very humble. But do not mistake on his humbleness. He being humble, he is called as Bholinath, or the Bhola is someone who believes very easily. So if he is pleased, he believes you very quickly. He can grant any wishes of yours. But there is other side of this god, a terrifying side. After all, he is the god of destruction. He is also called as Rudra. He has a third eye right on his forehead, and when he opens that eye out of anger, it holds the power to burn entire universe. He did it once. It's a very, I wouldn't say amazing, a slightly Shakespearean tragedy kind of a story associated with him. So now comes Sati in this story. Sati, she was a daughter of a king, mighty king, very wealthy king. I don't remember, maybe Aja was his name. Please correct me. But she fell in love with this hermit, Bhagwan Shankar. And she wanted to marry him. He equally fell for her. There was a divine love between them. But her father, the king, he would never agree. The tensions escalated, and one day, out of the agony, Sati, she couldn't really choose between her father and her husband. Out of despair, out of agony, she burnt herself alive. And that's where Shankara's Rudra avatar came into picture. The mighty god opened his third eye. He cut off the head of the king, and he started something which is called as Tandav, the dance of death. In that agony, in that passion, he lifted her burning body and he started to fly around the skies. Some of the parts, they fail on body, on earth of the body. They became Shakti Peeth, or the source of powers, places to worship, such as Nainital. So this is a very interesting god. Very interesting. Very different personality. Away from material things such as wealth, money, but yet an extremely short-tempered person. Powerful. Holds Trishul, a trident. Same like God Poseidon. Oh, very much actually. There are very much similarities between God Poseidon and Bhagwan Shankar. Only thing is, Poseidon was the god of sea. That's the only difference. Otherwise, both are short-tempered, both are extremely powerful, both hold trident. So, very different personality. Extremely powerful, extremely short-tempered, but a passionate lover. Let's see. We keep on walking. I don't know how much distance we covered. The noise, the zigzagging, we have left it behind. Feels really good to be silent, close to nature. Not sure whether it's very visible. There is a river Mandakini flowing down below.